welcome back to my channel. My name is Eliza, and in today's video I'm going to be knitting the Lotte socks from 52 Weeks of Socks. Before I get started, I added some little clear post-its to the table of contents of my copy of 52 Weeks of Socks, and I started crossing out the ones that I've completed. So exciting and so fun. I have done, what, this is like video 13 I think? I've done 13 of them? Yeah. That's just like, I don't know, it's another fun thing that I get to do whenever I complete a pair of socks. Cross one off the table of contents. The table of contents that I never use, but let's use it right now. What did I say that I was doing? Lotte, page 122. Lotte, oh, will forever make me think of Yellow Jackets now. Let me know in the comments if you watched Yellow Jackets. I really like Yellow Jackets. I was super into the first season last year when it came out. I was like, whoa, this show is so strange. And I like binge watched the whole thing. And then this year when the second season was announced, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to watch it. But I really want my boyfriend to watch it with me, but he hadn't watched any of the episodes. So we rewatched the entire first season together. I rewatched it, he watched it. And then we watched the second season together, and it was like every single week we're so excited for the next episode. Anyway, this is week 25 in the book, the Lotte socks. Another kind of colorwork sock. They've got some stripes, as you can see, some I think that's a cable pattern. Yeah, maybe like a honeycomb-ish kind of cable, and I think there's a twist in there too. I had been thinking about my sock knitting journey and how I often choose multicolor yarns. I don't know that I've done a solid color since my first pair, which were the Erica socks, and I did them in gray. When I did the Unity socks, I chose a multicolor yarn for a cable pattern, which I'm going to try not to do anymore. I also realized that the yarn that I picked for my main sock color, which is this yarn from Hedgehog Fibers, this is their twist sock yarn. This will be the first time I'm trying the twist sock. I ordered this last year when I ordered my advent calendar. I think this color is called Anemone. I also ordered the color, I think it's called Banana Legs, which you probably saw in the box when I was like going through my yarn stash. It's the yellow color. It was already wound into a ball or a cake. But as I unwound this and then wound it into a cake, I realized it's much more multicolor than I thought. It's not as like drastic as last week. Well, it's not a dark color, I guess. Last week wasn't really drastic, but I'm hoping that even though this is a multicolor yarn, that you'll be able to see the cable pattern, and I'm not making the same mistake for the third time by picking a multicolor yarn for a textured sock. But we're gonna go for it because I'm really excited to do this color combination. Also, now that I'm knitting my socks in tandem, for the first time I remembered to wind my hank into 2 cakes instead of 1, and then realizing later that I need 2 balls. So look at me, learning and growing. I have 2 cakes from my hank so I can knit my socks in tandem. I did not remember to do that with my mini hank, so I'll have to unravel this partially and make a second ball. Also, I didn't do it with the pink. I just like unwound a bunch of pink from that big cake that I had, so I'll have to split this in half too. This is the color combination. Let me know what you think. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fun. Just in case you didn't figure out what the plan is yet, the plan is that this is the main sock color, and then these are the stripe colors. So it has 1, 2, 3 stripes of one color, 2 stripes of the other color. Not sure which I'm gonna do yet. So main sock color, and then I don't know which one I'll do more of, green or pink. I'll probably be tempted to change the toe color from the orange, maybe green, although I do have a lot of pink. I'm guessing you knit this, I'm guessing it's knit from the cuff down. Yeah, it's cuff down. Let's see what kind of heel. Oh, it has a heel flap, so we could do a contrast heel color. We'll figure that out as we go. I am going to be taking this pattern with me to Washington. I'm going to Washington in a few days, so this is gonna be the project that I bring with me. I'm gonna try to just bring one project. I often bring like 10 projects and I finish like one. So I'm trying to be more realistic with my knitting goals and what I can actually achieve, because it's kind of like when you're hungry and you order a ton of food and then you only need like one regular sized portion of food. It's like that, but with knitting projects, it's like I'm gonna have so much time, I'm gonna be able to knit so many things, and yet when I'm home and I have my entire yarn stash with me, it takes me a week to knit a pair of socks. So like, why would it be any faster in another state when I'm on vacation? You tell me. Oh no. All right, I'm really eager to start these. These are also knit on size 1.5. It looks like the larger size is what I would normally cast on for myself with size 1.5. So I guess I'll be making the larger size. Should be fine because I have these hedgehog fiber hanks, I think are like over 400 yards. The green mini hank is 87 yards. It's from Ancestral Fiber Co. I got it from the Black Squirrel in Berkeley. And then the pink yarn is Kelborn Woolens. I forget the color, but it's like, it's one of their hot pink colors in their sock yarn. And I do have a full cake of that. So I'm not too worried about running out of yarn this time, but you never know. I was thinking of knitting these for myself, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Woohoo! Ooh. Woohoo! Summer sock knitting. Sock, 2 socks. It's definitely turning out to be a funky color combination. I'm into it, but it's very, I don't know. After I did the stripes, I was like, maybe the stripes weren't a good idea, the stripe colors. But this one looks kind of cute with like the orange at the, you know, after them. But I don't know, something about this, just looking at this, I was like, maybe that wasn't a good idea. I did the cuffs and then the stripe portion, and now I'm moving on to the chart. And the sock is knit, so the right and the left are done differently. In the picture, actually I have the book with me, you can see it's like just the side of the foot that has this chart on it. And so I think it's like the opposite for the other foot, because it said after the top portion, then you were gonna start working the left and the right leg differently. So I started with the left leg because that's where the instructions started. So this will be my left sock. And since I'm knitting them 2 at a time, I decided to just put a little gold stitch marker on this one, just so I remember this is my left sock, and then the other one is just regular, but it'll be the right sock, and that's how I'll tell the difference. It's going pretty well so far. The chart has these stitches called cluster stitches in it, and I haven't done those before. They're pretty simple, and I think that's what's making these these portions where there are like these little clusters of stitches where there's like 2 stitches going over and there's a hole beneath it. Those are the cluster stitches. And then it's also got some little cables here and on the other side here. So far it's a pretty fun chart. It's only a couple rows, so it goes very fast. Like 1 chart repeat goes very fast. This is 2 chart repeats here, so it's not making that much when you get through a chart, but it's pretty nice to just like, I don't know, like last night when I was knitting, I was like, I'll just do 2 chart repeats and then I'll go to bed. And you know, I didn't get very far, but it was satisfying. I got through the chart twice. I'm gonna keep working the chart for a couple more inches, and then I think we'll move on to the heel. And I was thinking about the heel for this sock, and you know me at this point. It's hard to do, it's hard not to do fun color mixing. But I was thinking that if I did like pink and green for the heel and the toe, that might be a little bit much. I do really like the idea of doing a green toe right now. Maybe I'll change my mind as we like see what the orange yarn looks like. I was thinking green toe, and then what about a white heel? I don't know why I think a white heel would look nice. Maybe because the stripes kind of remind me of like gym socks, and like having a white, either like a white toe heel cuff, or the opposite, like a white sock with colored stripes at the cuff, or like contrast toes. I don't know why I'm thinking of gym socks right now, but I thought maybe a white heel would be interesting. Maybe I'll just bring my white yarn with me when I'm taking this project around and see what happens there. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. Next time I check in, I'll probably be somewhere else, but I'm gonna take my socks with me on the airplane, so I'm hoping to get a lot of knitting done on the plane. And I'll check back in when it's time to do the heels. Woohoo, my favorite part. Although I do really like working charts, and I did like working the stripes. So far, this has been a great pattern for people with a short attention span. All right, I just finished my ankles. They are looking great. I did my right sock perfectly. The pattern is perfect, no mistakes. The left one does have a mistake. Can you see it? I can see it. It doesn't bother me enough to unravel it, but it is there. It's time to start the heels now. I said that I was gonna do white yarn. I didn't remember to bring the white yarn with me. I think I'm gonna try the pink. I was thinking it would be like too much to do pink, but I kind of want to try it. And if it looks like too much, I'll unravel it and just do orange. Kind of set on doing green toes, so that's the plan right now. I did also think about doing mismatch, but maybe that's just like too crazy, because I don't want them to be too crazy. I want them to be like cute and quirky. Yay! The socks are done. Woohoo! What do you think of the toes? I don't know. I guess they are cohesive in their color story, but I don't know, maybe I should have done pink toes and just left that green stripe as like an accent. What do you think? I'm kind of thrown off by this green toe. I don't hate it, but there's just something about it that now feels like it doesn't totally go, I guess. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on the green toe. This pattern was very fun in the beginning. Once I got past the heel and I had to do like quite a bit of just working the chart to get to the toe, I kind of was losing momentum because I had to do like more than 5 inches just in pattern, and the chart is very short. So like in the beginning, I was loving the short chart, but then by this point I was like, this chart is so boring because it's so short. But I guess that's a good thing because I like got the hang of it very quickly. It looks very complicated, but I think it's actually pretty simple. It has a cable pattern, so if you're familiar with cables, you can definitely do it. And then it has these stitches called cluster stitches, which are very simple to do. This is my first time doing cluster stitches. These like wraps here are the cluster stitches. And then it's kind of like this part in the middle is the cluster stitch and a lace pattern, and then these are cables on the side. So it's pretty simple pattern. It's fun to do the socks that are different on the right and the left foot. I think they're kind of fun, and then they're fun when you like look at your feet and they're the same but different. I did mess up a couple places. I was working on these while I was in Seattle visiting my family, and we were all having a great time, going out a lot and drinking a lot. So I did have a couple nights where I was drinking and knitting. So I did mess up a couple things. It wasn't huge mistakes, not mistakes that I wanted to go back and fix, nothing drastic. I did mess up the cable patterns a couple times too, and I don't know if that was also from too many gimlets or if it was just not paying attention. As you can see here, right there, the cable pattern, I did the wrong one. Like when you do a cable pattern, if it's an even twist like this, it's either pulling the stitches to the front or the back and switching the positions. So in this case, this cable was like, hold it to the back, and I held it to the front. And so I got more of a, it's kind of like two cables going into each other instead of a bunch of cables going in the same direction. So it's nice looking, but it doesn't look like the other ones. There aren't usually people examining my socks, so it didn't bother me enough to go fix it. I did not mess up the cluster chart at all. That was simpler. I mean, the cable was simple, I just wasn't paying attention, I guess. So really they'll go like this. I guess I like the green toe. I'm torn about that toe. Part of me now is thinking maybe I should have done a green heel with a pink toe. I don't know why it's bothering me. Like, I still like all these colors together. I don't know, maybe I should have done a pink toe. I knit these ones with the hedgehog fiber twist, and this is my first time using the twisted sock yarn that they make. And I find that it has more texture, and probably because it's twisted, whereas the regular sock is not twisted and it's really flat and smooth. I don't know about the durability yet, but maybe at the end of my sock knitting journey, my 52 weeks of sock knitting journey, I'll let you know the difference between the two and like how they hold up. But right now, I would say this one just feels like a little bit more textured, and it's not as soft as the regular sock, but probably also just because it's twisted and it has a little bit more texture. Other than that, it's just as beautiful as the other one. Let me know what you think of the socks in the comments. I'm going to get started on my next sock from the book. I already have one in mind. As you know, if you watched my Fuzzy Wuzzy Knitting podcast from this past Monday, I'm gonna get to work on those socks, and I will see you very soon. Bye!